Not too long ago, I decided to treat myself with a somewhat expensive purchase in the form of a tablet. I have wanted to get myself a tablet for quite a while now, as I just think they are neat. While setting up my tablet with the basic necessities, aka TikTok, Discord and some games, I came across a mobile game that I forgot even existed. That game being the Stardew Valley Mobile port, which I decided to buy as I'm a big Stardew Valley fan and I want to give it a shot, and for only $5, sign me up, as that is an amazing deal. So yeah, with the short intro, today we're gonna be talking about the Stardew Valley Mobile port, so buckle up as this will be an interesting one. I think it's best that we first go over how you control this game. As this game being on a device you control by touching glass, I was a bit skeptical at first. Which you can't really blame me for, as mobile games always feel kinda weird, but after playing for a while, I can say that the mobile port is quite impressive when it comes down to controlling it. As there are a bunch of different control methods presented in the game, which you can choose out of to make the experience more enjoyable. If you want, you can play the game by simply tapping on the screen just like any other mobile game, but if you want a bit more of a direct control method, you can also just have on-screen buttons similar to other mobile ports such as Minecraft and the multiple classic Sonic games. But if those don't sit right with you, then you can always just plug in a controller and play the game as if you were playing it on a console. And while using a controller does work quite well, it does come with some slight problems. While the game fully supports controllers, this doesn't mean anything for the UI of the game. While using a controller, it's actually pretty easy to make the game crash, resulting in having to restart the day you were just playing. While I don't know why this happens, I do know that pretty much every interaction with the inventory and shop NPCs has a chance to crash the game. It is definitely a bit odd, but I have seen games crash because of dumber reasons, and it's a phone game we're talking about, so the expectations already weren't too high to begin with. In terms of how the game looks, well, it's simply Stardew Valley. The game has a nice looking pixel art style that made me fall in love with the game when I first started looking into it. On the mobile edition, the game looks pretty much the same as it does on pretty much every other system you can play it on, which in my opinion is great, as it makes the game keep its charm and recognizability. And while the port simply looks really good on my tablet, I did run into some graphical glitches while playing. Nothing major, but sometimes random items would get some random black lines. Alongside that, certain areas would also randomly have some black lines on their terrain, such as the secret forest and the mountain lake area. I have no idea how these graphical glitches came to be, as I also tried the game on my phone and didn't encounter them on there. And I even asked around on the official Stardew Valley subreddit, and there I simply got no response. I even tried deleting and then installing the game again to see if that fixes the problem, but the only thing that ended up doing was getting rid of my save file of about 26 hours. But on a more positive note, for the people wondering about the performance of the port, I have good news. Through normal gameplay, the port will perform pretty much how I expect it to. It's for the most part as smooth as any other version of the game, but there are some slight hiccups here and there. Frame rate can drop when you decide to play the game while fully zoomed out. And when entering the museum, there's a slight chance that the game might stutter for a sec, as the game needs to load in all of the items you have donated. The same can also happen when entering big areas in the mines or when you start up your save file. Having played this port for a while now, I can say it's honestly really solid, but for some weird reason the multiplayer has been removed from this version. Why it's not in the mobile port, I'm not sure. Even when checking online, I couldn't come up with an answer, so it's kind of a mystery to why it's not included. Weirdly enough, there's still a small remnant of the multiplayer mode still present in the port, as the wedding ring, an item used to make two players marry each other, is still present in the game and can be spawned in. While the multiplayer has been removed, the bugs and glitches that you can use to screw around are still present. Of course, if you don't care about them, that is perfectly fine, but I knew that when I first started playing, I had to check and see if it was possible to glitch my way into some fun. And yes, you can, as you can still spam your sword or scythe to slide into the void in any given building and just wander around. And your horse can still sell you ice cream whenever you feel like it. I'm not sure if other glitches are in this game, game, but seeing as the ones I just mentioned are some of the easiest and well-known Stardew glitches, it's probably safe to say that you can do whatever glitch you desire. Alright, so Stardew Valley for mobile devices. I honestly find it really good. It's definitely not the best version of Stardew Valley, but as a version that you can simply whip out during a break, at work or at school, it could definitely be a lot worse. But now on to the big question, should you get the Stardew Valley Mobile port? Well, in my opinion, yes, go ahead. It is a really solid version, and for only $5 you really got yourself an amazing deal right there. But for now, it's goodbye, as I'm gonna be trying to find some more mobile games that I can spend some time with.